Hello YouTube, what's going on? Jamie here from FM Scout. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at the top 20 Wonderkids. Of course, we've done this video already, I know this, but there has been a winter update, as you can see on the screen right now, and there's been a lot of changes. And there is some changes to the players. Of course, I'll be doing free transfer, stuff like that, because since the start of the game, of course, free transfers may have left, and they may not be available as per our videos last time. So I'm going to do these videos again, some player videos. If there's anything you want to see, please let me know in the comments. It's very, very important. If there's any kind of player videos, Scandinavian players, anything like that, please let me know. But let's get right into it. These are going to be the top 20 Wonderkids from the winter update. We are going to go from 20 down, so make sure you watch the video the entire way through. That will be massively appreciated. But let's get right into it. The first one is a player called Anthony. If we go to this, Anthony Matthias dos Santos, a guy currently playing for SPO, which I believe is Sao Paulo FC. I haven't got the name fixed on since the update, since I made a new save. So yeah, this guy is 19 years old. Attributes are very, very good. 6 million value, which is very low. But if we look at his dribbling and his technique is already really good as a winger. So this is going to be a guy very, very good. I can't remember seeing this guy on the last update. So whether this guy's just kind of come into it since he's been playing for Sao Paulo this season, I'm not entirely sure. There is a few Brazilians that follow the stream, so you guys might be able to let me know. But I can't remember seeing this guy in the last episode we did for the Wonderkids. I did the 20 Wonderkids last time as well. Maybe I'm just forgetting. I've done a lot of videos since. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. And we've got a Canadian. Now, this guy definitely wasn't on the list. Jonathan David at AA Ghent. Of course, playing in Belgium at the moment. But yeah, looking very good. I mean, his AMC can play kind of striker, left wing, right wing. He's got the finishing, he's got the dribbling. Crossing needs to probably be a little bit better, but that can be worked on. Don't forget, he's only 19 years old. If you try and bid for this guy, we'll show you in a second, but he's got good pace, good acceleration. I mean, he's only valued at 8 million. I can't imagine it being, you know, to try and bid for this guy, it can't be that expensive, but of course, he's got a lot of potential. So, yeah, that is Jonathan David. Karim Adeyemi is the next player from RB Salzburg, currently on loan at FC Liefering. Currently in Germany. Of course, I mean, yeah, is Germany 17. I mean, as a striker, you know, he's got the pace, he's got the determination. Technicals are very lacking, but he is only 17 years old, remember that. But again, the price is quite low at 650k. This is a guy you'll kind of see in like 4 or 5 years' time that will be probably coming to England or at Bayern Munich, teams like that. So make sure you keep an eye out and keep your tabs on this guy. I mean, looking at his stats, did he start? He didn't even start at RB Salzburg. He started at Unterhaching, who played in the regional divisions. So this guy feels like he's a new kind of player. He did move to Salzburg in 1920. So yeah, this is obviously they've kind of seen him. In fact, I just said German. I mean, RB Salzburg, Austria. I'm thinking of Leipzig. Ignore what I've just said. So yeah, he is currently playing in Austria at the moment. He's not playing in Germany. He is German though. That's where I got confused. But yeah, Karim Adeyemi. Let me know in the comments if you guys have signed this guy in the previous game or the previous update, and you know if you plan on signing him this year. So please do let me know. I mean, this guy needs no introduction. João Felix at Atletico Madrid, 30 million value. Going to cost you an absolute fortune to get this guy, but he does turn out to be one of the best players in the game. I have seen this firsthand in my Farsley save. He scores against me is absolutely unreal. So yeah, João Felix. Many of you guys know who this guy is. But yeah, I mean, his attributes are looking incredible. 18 technique, 17 passing, 19 flair, 16 determination. Absolutely quality. I would definitely look at signing João Felix if you can and you've got some money. Hannibal Mejbri at Manchester United. Now, of course, you guys would have seen Hannibal Mejbri in my Farsley save. We didn't sign him, but he did play against us quite a few times. And I think he eventually got a move for about 60 million. Which he left United. I don't think he was getting game time. So this is a player you should probably keep an eye out on because they don't generally tend to get into the first team of United, which means he gets transfer listed or he gets released in some cases like it happened on our Farsley save. So a player like this, all these players, you should really shortlist all of these players and just keep an eye out on them if you're out your save. But Hannibal Mejbri, as you can see, he doesn't look anything special right now, but he's only 16, bear that in mind. 16 determination, 14. He's got a lot of 14s for his age. So yeah, that is Hannibal Mejbri. Another player that you tend to see who makes it to the top is Phil Foden. Now, also another player that generally leaves Manchester City because of game time. Manchester City, the AI just tends to sign lots and lots of big players. whenever it can, and it doesn't really give opportunities for players like Phil Foden, who has got a lot of potential, but they always go for the rep over the potential kind of thing. So it's another player that you should keep an eye on, because he will get transfer listed. I mean, it's probably going to cost you in the region of 20 to 30 million if he does get transfer listed, but it's definitely worth it, especially if you're playing in England, because of course he's homegrown. He's a very good attacking midfielder. But yeah, let me know in the comments any kind of experiences you've had with Phil Foden over the course of FM20. Another player that generally leaves West Ham is Declan Rice. Now, it's hard to believe that this guy's 20 years old only. But of course, he's got good determination. He's already ready for the Premier League. You can see in his career stats, he's made 61 appearances already for West Ham, which is kind of crazy when you think about how young he is. He's received a lot of slack in the last few, I'd say, well, last year or so. You know, a lot of West Ham fans some of them aren't happy with him, but he is that type of player who sits and holds the play in the DM role, and he kind of dictates the game. But you can see, you know, 16 tackling, composure, determination, that type of stuff. Very, very strong. Again, they're going to cost you about 40, 50 million if you was to bring Declan Rice in. But yeah, that's Declan Rice. Eduardo Camavinga at Rennes. And this guy, you always see this guy go for a ridiculous amount of money. He is one of the best centre midfielders on the game, without a shadow of a doubt. Absolutely quality. Going to cost you a lot of money to get him away from Rennes, though. And is actually worth it. Like, if you see the stats or the attributes of this guy in a few years, it's just absolutely mental. Like, he's such a good player, and he will completely dominate that midfield for you. Completely just reform the whole midfield. Is so good. So yeah, if you guys have had any experience, again, let me know. But this is Eduardo Camavinga. And of course, Erling Haaland, a player who has recently just moved to Dortmund, and he's scoring for fun at Dortmund at the moment. What's it, like 11 goals or something in 5 appearances? Can't remember off the top of my head, but again, it's going to be very, very difficult to buy this guy from Dortmund. You'll probably have to wait a few years. If you are a massive team, I would definitely suggest bringing this guy in. Natural goal scorer. You know, he's not the most fancy player like Mbappe and players like that, but he will score you a hell of a lot of goals. He's got no player traits, so you can kind of mould him into your player you want him to be as well. But Erling Haaland. And the next player, Jadon Sancho, a player who has been in the reports for the last 2 years of going to Manchester United, so the chances are on the next version he will probably be at Manchester United, let's be honest. But Erling Haaland, Jadon Sancho, of course, it's going to cost you about 90 million to get him away from Dortmund. They won't go easy with the transfer fee. Going to cost you a lot of money, but hopefully, if you do get him, he will be your winger for the next, 10 years at least. You won't need to change your winger out, because he will become one of the best wingers in the game. But that is Jadon Sancho. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, who has actually had an increase, which I'm very happy about. If you remember in the last video, it feels like Trent Alexander-Arnold has had a big increase in his stats. I don't know if any of you guys can remember, but there was no like light green, if that makes sense. All of them was like 14, 15s and stuff like that. But you can see now it's been added a technique of 17, vision of 16, determination 16, passing 18, crossing of 17. Of course, you see it on a day-to-day basis or a week-to-week basis. Even with Liverpool, making them crosses, getting them assists. And that's the reason he's had the increase. And I think it's fair to say that is correct. I couldn't agree more with most of them stats or attributes. So yeah, that is Trent Alexander-Arnold. Of course, to try and get this guy away from Liverpool, you'd have to pay an extortionate amount of money. And I don't think it's probably possible unless you're a team like PSG or something like that. I don't think obviously he won't go to Manchester United, I don't think, because of the rivalry. That is the thing on FM, by the way. But yeah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, absolute quality right back. Another player that's moved. On the last Wonderkid video, Reina was actually at Fluminense, whatever they're called, in Brazil. Can't remember the name. FLA, there they are. So yeah, he was currently at them, and he has actually moved to Real Madrid in real life. Only valued at 3.4 million though, but again, he's had a big increase in his attributes. AMC, going to cost you quite a bit of money to get him away from Real Madrid, but maybe a few cheeky loans and stuff like that, you might be able to get him on. As you can see, he's got shoots from distance as a player trait, which is really, really good. And he tries killer balls often, so he's already got 2 incredible traits for AMC, so that is very, very exciting. Manuel Vignato at Chievo, as you can see, dribbling of 13, flair of 17. I don't know why I started with a dribbling of 13. I just looked at the dribbling because he's a winger. Technique of 14. Very good player. He always goes to a lot of big clubs and is relatively cheap, to be fair. I'm not sure about the update, but he is relatively cheap to buy, and he's a very good winger. I don't think he's quite ready as of now for, you know, the first team, but he is on loan from Bologna at the moment. He is currently playing at Chievo. So you'll have to wait probably a year or so before you can get him. But looking at his player traits, tries tricks, which is a very good trait to have as a winger. Cuts inside from both wings, another good one as well. A player that I can't remember seeing on the last video as well was Calvin Stengs at AZ. So you can see 20 determination, 16 flair. Very, very good attributes for his age. I mean, he's still 20. You know, he's not 16, but again, a player that's going to probably definitely leave this club. Definitely, you know what I mean? Definitely leave this club. I mean, AZ aren't the biggest club in the world, so I'd expect you'd have to move quick on this guy. Not entirely sure of the price you'd have to pay, but he looks very, very good for his age. And determination of 20, it's always good to sign players like that. Vinicius Junior, of course, has been coming into the team quite a lot this year for Real Madrid. He's made more of a kind of an impression than I thought it would. Of course, last year he wasn't really involved that much. He was kind of in the B team. But he has made an impression, and he has come into the Real Madrid team this year quite often. So it's going to be very hard to tempt away from Real Madrid. But he's 18 years old, 22.5 million. Again, inside forwards. It can play, obviously, wing as well. But I'd try and train him as an inside forward. Get his finishing up if he can. Very, very pacey. Good flair, good determination. So definitely a player that you should look at signing. And again, another player that tends to get put on the transfer list. So yeah, keep an eye out on Vinicius Junior. Put him in your shortlist. And Kai Havertz, a player that's kind of not looked upon. I mean, I know a few people who've signed this guy, but he's not kind of your go-to player. I mean, he is at Bayer Leverkusen, but I mean, looking at his attributes, very, very strong. 17 first touch, 17 technique, 17 composure. Definitely a guy that could jump into the Premier League in the guy. I mean, he's got a really good goal-scoring record as well. 24 goals in 88 appearances. Is quite strong, to be fair, for an AMC or a centre mid, depending where he's playing. But that is Kai Havertz. Sandro Tonali at Brescia. Of course, many of you know this guy. It was a big hit on the last version, FM19. Again, it's been a big hit on FM20 as well. I still don't know how in real life this guy has not really moved, which is kind of crazy. So Sandro Tonali, Italian, at Brescia. But aggression 16, determination 18, and work rate 16. Very, very good signing. You should really, really think about signing this guy if you play DMs. You will not need to change your DM for the next 10 years. The next player is Rodrigo. Now, I always think about Real Madrid from FM18 or FM19 when, of course, Real Madrid signed Rodrigo and Vinicius, and they both kind of played in the same position. So it always meant you would be able to sign one of them because one of them would eventually get annoyed or get put on the loan list or get put on the transfer list. And that's the case here. So, of course, Vinicius is kind of taking the role at the minute on the left-hand side for Real Madrid, while Rodrigo hasn't really developed that much, but there's nothing saying that he can't develop at another club. So, as you know, he is only 18 years old. He will develop into a really strong player, but is he going to get the time at Real Madrid to do that? So, if you can bring this guy in quite soon, or just maybe shortlist him and wait till he does get transfer listed, because it does happen, I've seen it. But yeah, make sure you keep an eye out on Rodrigo. Probably one of the best centre-backs on the game, behind probably Van Dijk. De Ligt at Juventus. Now, of course, a ball-playing defender, amazing attributes, work rate, good determination, good strength, good heading, amazing. You know, 6'2". There's absolute perfection there in terms of a centre-back for a bit of potential. Of course, he's only 19, and again, it's so hard to realise that this guy is 19. He's already made 77 appearances for Ajax. Of course, he did move to Juventus this year, and it is doing quite well for Juventus. He's regularly starting for Juventus, but definitely look at signing this guy when you can. And the final one, Kylian Mbappe. Now, it's very weird to put this guy on a list as a Wonderkid, but of course, we class Wonderkids as 20 years old and below. So he is a Wonderkid. Next year, he won't be a Wonderkid, but as you can see, dribbling of 18. I mean, I don't need to talk about his stats. That is Kylian Mbappe. I mean, is the guy. You're going to have to spend absolute, probably 200, 300 million just to get him in. So is it worth it? I've seen him go to Manchester United in saves and stuff like that. You will need to pay a lot of money for him. And yeah, then you've got the decision to find out where you actually play him, because he can play in 3 roles. So that's the other issue you get after you kind of sign him. But yeah, that is Kylian Mbappe. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Drop a like on the video and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.